Welcome, everyone, to United Community Housing Coalition and this celebration of the Make It Home program. My name is Michelle Oberholzer, and it's wonderful to be here today with all of you and our supporters to celebrate the Make It Home program. This program to date has assisted 1,157 homes that were occupied at the time of their foreclosure to be sold back to their residents for an affordable price. Is an incredible accomplishment. We're very proud. I'm going to explain the way that it works. When the Wayne County Treasurer forecloses on a home, they become the owner. And if no intervention is taken, those homes are sold in the auction to the highest bidder. And the resident does not have any priority over anyone else. And so the auction is not a very good outcome for occupied homes in foreclosure. But before the auction happens, the city of Detroit has first dibs. They have the right of refusal, and they can purchase those homes. And the Make It Home program is a program that uses the city's right of refusal to recognize the residents of these homes who want to own their homes. You know, it's going to be for sale. Who better than to buy it than the person who already lives there? And the Make It Home program provides them the opportunity to do that at a low price, the home they already live in. And so it takes this foreclosure, which is otherwise this mechanism of destruction and blight and displacement and loss, and it turns it into an opportunity, a recognition of the residents of Detroit, an opportunity for justice, stability, equity, and it's just truly incredible. We're so proud to be part of it. So, let me see. Of the 1,157 homes purchased, 804 have already paid in full and are owners. So that means that tenants who had runaway landlords are now owners. Low-income owners who had runaway debt are debt-free again. And neighborhoods, every neighborhood in Detroit is made stronger because of this program. And once the homes are securely back into the ownership of their residents, it's kind of out of the frying pan into the fire. Of course, home ownership is not simple. It comes with a lot of challenges, and many of these homes have repair issues. So we then rededicate ourselves to making additional labor and efforts to repair the homes. So we're going to be learning more about the repair efforts that are part of the Make It Home program today. Let me hit you with a couple of statistics because it's pretty incredible to really contemplate. So again, as I said, every neighborhood in Detroit has been touched by this program. It grew from originally only 80 homes in 2017. Last year, 2018, we had 520 homes, and in 2019, we had 557. 323 homeowners actually purchased back their homes for just $1,000. That's part of the ACLU settlement that was reached with the city of Detroit in recognition of low-income homeowners and the need for them to be able to regain ownership if they would have qualified for poverty tax exemptions. And in this year's program, as I said, we have 557 participants. Already, 233 have paid off their homes, and they're either going to be receiving their deed or moving on with the repair program. So, as you might guess, this most incredible program would not exist without a lot of labor, a lot of collaboration. It is not the result of a single law changing, although we're working on doing some of that as well. This program, though, is a result of collaboration and mutual goals and effort and a lot of labor and funding and trust on the part of everyone involved. So I'm just going to go through a couple of the supporters briefly. So the city of Detroit, they're the one who has the right of refusal. The city of Detroit Mayor's Office, the Department of Neighborhoods, Planning and Development, HRD, City Council, all of those different groups have been integral in making this program possible, and it would not be without, it couldn't happen without their willingness and their support. United Community Housing Coalition, our insatiable, crazy staff that will never turn away someone who wants and seeks assistance. We do an incredible amount of work. The team is wonderful and really needs a lot more recognition, so I just want to honor them today. The residents of these homes, they put an incredible amount of trust and faith in this process that you know, their home is at stake, and they decide to work with us and move through this program. And then, of course, the funders. This could not be possible without the generosity of many of our funders. Quicken Loans Community Investment Fund was the first and the most dedicated funder that we've had from year one of this program and continuing on, and then having the vision to also work toward the repair programs. So of course we're going to be honoring and hearing from them today. United Way of Southeast Michigan, DTE, Hudson Weber, the City of Detroit, all our funders, as are the participants. They're purchasing the homes. So all of these people, just consider all of the effort that goes into this, and it's only possible because we have something that is just a win-win-win. It's good for the residents, it's good for the community, it's good for all of us, and we're so proud to be a part of it. So having said all that, I'm just going to move into the next part of the program. I want to introduce Laura Graneman. You've probably met and heard from her before. She's been very dedicated on this effort. Laura Graneman is the Vice President of Quicken Loans Community Fund, the philanthropic arms of Quicken Loans and the Rock family of companies. She's guided by a for more than profit philosophy, and they seek to do good by doing well, and do well by doing good in their hometown of Detroit, including by holistically focusing on housing stability initiatives like the Make It Home program, Neighbor to Neighbor, and others. Thank you. Laura?
Thank you so much. I am very excited to be here. This is the third year of this fantastic program, and every year it seems like this event gets a little bit warmer, even though it's so chilly outside. So it's very rare that we get an opportunity to feel this celebratory in the end of February when we're all just waiting for the weather to change. So thank you all for being here. Before anything, I just want to echo Michelle and really say thank you to a huge number of people. First and foremost, I really want to thank the Quicken Loans Community Fund team members, and in particular, Alex Alsop, who leads our housing stability team. None of this work would have been possible without his vision in particular and the whole team's dedication. They are 100% dedicated to making sure that we're serving the end resident, and I really appreciate that. Secondly, of course, to Ted and Michelle and the whole United Community Housing Coalition team. Again, they are working incessantly. Every moment of every day, they are working to serve residents, and we absolutely thank them for everything that they do and are so grateful for their dedication and continuous drive. Lastly, of course, I want to thank the City of Detroit, the mayor in particular, for his leadership in this issue, the Housing and Revitalization Department, City Council, and so many others who've really come together to make this possible. It's not every city that you're able to create public-private partnerships like this that are really meaningful and take a system that is so destructive and really turn it on its head in a way that allows for homeownership to be built instead of for homeownership to be stripped away from people. And so I think that's such a powerful thing that we're all able to come together in such a collaborative way like that. There is another group of community partners that I also want to thank. They're not all here, but we've worked with 30 different community organizations across the city of Detroit to put on a program called Neighbor to Neighbor, which reaches out literally door to door to every person who is living in a property that's behind on its property taxes, even by a little bit. And I think it's so important to thank this group of people as well. We've worked with them to hire 450 Detroit residents that are working very consistently all the time, reaching out to people to talk to them about resources like the HPTAP, the Homeowners Property Tax Assistance Program, or Make It Home. And it is through this direct outreach that we've been able to collect data that allowed us to think about this problem a little bit differently and really create the Make It Home program and build it to what it is today. And so I really want to thank all of those community partners and all of those Detroit residents who've worked with us over the past 3 years to visit every one of the 60,000 Detroit residents who are still living in properties behind on their property taxes. Most of all, though, I really want to thank each and every person who, like Michelle said, have trusted us with their home, with their family. It's not easy to trust in a system like this, especially one that has had so much destruction and devastation in the past. We all know people who have been critically affected by property tax foreclosure. 1 in 3 properties in the city of Detroit have entered a tax foreclosure auction just in the last 15 years. And when you have a system that destructs like that, it is often very difficult to build hope and optimism and trust. And I think through this program, we've really proven together that it is possible to build something beautiful together. And when we trust in one another, we can really build something bigger than ourselves. So I want to thank each one of the 1,157 homeowners who have become a part of this program and trusted us with their family, their livelihood, their home, because that is an incredibly meaningful, really motion of the heart. Lastly, I am very excited to announce something extremely important today. While we've been working on this Make It Home program for 3 years, we have been seeing all of the ramifications of tax foreclosure. And sometimes those are longer lasting than you might think. When someone isn't about to lose their home to tax foreclosure, it is easy then to start looking at other issues in the house. So last year, we announced a repair program for people who were part of the Make It Home program, recognizing that if your landlord is not paying his or her property taxes, it is very likely that they are also not paying for deferred maintenance issues. And this year, I'm proud to announce that we are increasing our commitment to repair funding at the Quicken Loans Community Fund to $1 million for this group of people to make sure that everyone in this group has access to the repair resources that they need to make a safe and stable home. I also just want to say that the Quicken Loans Community Fund is really dedicated to continuing to invest in our home community. Detroit is incredibly meaningful to us. It is our home city, and we want to ensure that just like we serve our clients nationwide, we are serving every single Detroit resident and helping them get to safe, affordable housing. The Make It Home program is a huge component of that, and we're so proud to be at the table with amazing partners and amazing other funders. So thank you to everyone who has come to the table to make this possible.
Next, I'm proud to introduce Mayor Mike Duggan. Mike Duggan has been a leader in advancing this Make It Home program. He's not compelled by law. He's compelled by his passion and commitment for the neighborhoods and keeping people in their homes. We do not take this for granted. We're so grateful that we continue to have this partnership with the City of Detroit to make sure that residents of foreclosed homes have the opportunity to stay in their homes, to become homeowners. And the city and Mayor Duggan's office are integral in this Make It Home program. Mayor?
I don't know how I can say enough good about Michelle Oberholzer, Ted Phillips, and UCHC. They were fighting this fight when it looked hopeless. They came up with strategy after strategy, enlisted volunteer after volunteer, and when the Quicken Loans Community Fund joined in, and the support of United Way, and the DTE Foundation, and the Hudson Weber Foundation. But it's interesting, in addition to this, we just got this PAYS legislation through that's going to reduce interest and penalties. It's going to be a big savings to folks who are eligible for the poverty exemption, and they were both the Quicken folks and UCHC lobbying side by side. It's not an easy thing to go to a legislature that's predominantly outstate and ask legislators to vote for something that can be perceived in their home district as a property tax break for Detroit that they aren't going to see. It takes a lot of explanation, and we've gotten it done. And this particular Home Again program, I know the idea generated with UCHC and some of the city staff, but the person who came and pitched it to me was Dan Gilbert. And he came and saw me, and he had a whole spreadsheet, as he usually does, and he says, look, every time these houses are empty, we end up with demolitions, we end up with the neighborhood deteriorating, and he says we've got all these folks where the renters are paying their rent every single month, and they don't know the landlord's not paying the property taxes till somebody goes and tacks a yellow notice up to their door. And I said, well, Dan, I'm aware of that. He says, well, think about this. You've got a renter in the house who belongs to the neighborhood who's making payments every month. Why don't we figure out how to have the renter buy and own the house and have them stay here, and we'll put up the money to start the program. I thought it had potential, but 1,100 houses in this city that would be vacant today were it not for this program is remarkable. And I'm not going to talk very long, because when you hear the stories from the people who have bought the houses, they're far more interesting than anything I'm going to say. But I just wanted to say thank you, and folks should know you're eligible for this 3 days a week. Is it Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Okay? Come on down here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You don't need an appointment. Michelle and Ted and their team will take care of you. If you're below the poverty exemption level, they will help you even if you're not a renter. If you're a renter, they'll help you buy the house. If you are a renter, if you need a loan to fix up one of these houses, they will help you with this. This is a center of hope, and I hope the people of Detroit will continue to do this. We're starting to gain on a problem. One last thing I want to say is I want to say thank you to the media that are here today. Because in this town, folks have gone through a lot of pain over housing. And when somebody comes out and protests, everybody in the media shows up. But when people stand up with solutions and say, here's how we can help you, that doesn't appear to be as nearly as interesting a story. And the fact that we have so many here today helping us reach out, you're going to change some people's lives. So thank you for being here, and I'll turn it back to our leader, Michelle.
I don't know about that. Next, I'm proud to introduce Dr. Darian Hudson from United Way of Southeast Michigan. Dr. Hudson has been president and CEO of United Way since July 2018. She led Milwaukee Public Schools as a superintendent from October 2014 to May 2018. Dr. Hudson is a high-energy visionary who initiated a series of bold reform measures throughout her career designed to ensure equity for all students to improve achievement outcomes. And I believe that she and United Way recognize the importance of stable homes for our children in our communities, and we thank them for funding this effort. Dr. Hudson.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. As you can see, there is a spirit of gratitude and humility in this space, and so it really is an honor to be here with all of you. I'm joined by Megan Thibus and Tanya Dare from our team, and they really are the engine that is behind this initiative and making sure that not only we're trying to find solutions that people really understand the issues, and everyone in our region understands they have a responsibility to be able to fix it. I also want to thank Laura and Michelle, Mayor Duggan, for your continuous partnership and for helping us push the needle. There's a lot of work out there that has to get done, and we can't do it on our own. It really does take every single person to be able to make this change. So at our core, United Way is focused, Michelle said it, we're focused on stable households and thriving children. And we really see that as the heart of what it takes for communities to be able to thrive, for families to be whole, and for people to find the success that they're looking for. And our partnership with UCHC has lasted for many years. And not too long ago, maybe about 8 months ago, they approached us and said they wanted to do something a little different. We'd been somewhat of a silent partner. And they approached us and said, you know, it's time. It's time. We need you to make a larger contribution to the Make It Home initiative. And they had us at hello. The decision was very, very simple. And so we're pleased to announce that as part of our annual grant process, we are giving $100,000 to this effort. We are hoping that we can continue to increase not only the dollar amount, but the advocacy and effort that has to go into this. And every partner that's on the stage, we are working together to make that happen. And we have some new friends today that we're going to hear from soon. And we're going to be continuing to work with them and learning from them as well, because it all really makes a difference. This is personal. I used to be a teacher in DPS. This is where I got my start. And when you think about the stress that is tied to the threat of eviction, the threat of foreclosures, and the type of instability that creates in our neighborhoods, in our households, in our schools, no one wants to be in that position, and no one deserves that. And seeing mobility rates continue to fluctuate in and out of our neighborhoods, and not really knowing what we can do about it, and feeling that sense of hopelessness. And you can feel hopeless when you don't have a plan. But the good news is that we have a plan. Make It Home is that plan. And it feels so good to be back in Detroit and be a part of that team, to be able to tell the world, no, we can fix this. This is a model city for how you turn this issue around, how you bring stability into our homes, into our communities, and give people the pride and the hope that they deserve. We know that owning a home is that first step, but being able to keep that home is the game changer. I know a lot of people who have had to go through foreclosures, and I think sometimes people want to stereotype who falls in those categories and who those people are and what they look like, but it affects everyone. everyone. And if we can't take anything from our conversations today and the testimonies that we're going to hear from our sisters over here, is that this is everyone's issue. We all have a responsibility to be able to make a difference. So it's an honor to be on this stage. Next year, we're going to talk about thousands more people who are getting help that they need and being able to turn all of our neighborhoods around, because our Detroiters deserve it. So thank you for having me here today. I'll turn it back over to Michelle. Thank you.
So much to say about that. Next, I'd like to introduce Heidi Rame. Heidi is a policy fellow at Hudson Weber Foundation, which invests in success and community initiatives across 4 mission areas, one of which is community and economic development. She and Hudson Weber Foundation have not only funded this work, they've tried to do a lot of the analysis to really try to crack the nut of what it is that we can do to change some of these policies that are so destructive to our neighborhoods. So I'd like to introduce Heidi. Thank you.
That was a very hard act to follow here, but I'm going to try to do my best. Good afternoon. My name is Heidi Rime. I'm from the Hudson Weber Foundation, and we thank you for the opportunity to join you today. We've played such a small part, so it really is an honor to be here and to hear about all the successes in the work. With origins dating back to 1939, the foundation has been making grants to organizations that are working towards the growth of a vibrant city that provides opportunities for Detroiters to attain wealth and prosperity. And so for Hudson Weber, supporting Make It Home and UCHC more generally helps advance the foundation's goal of stabilizing neighborhoods and supporting more quality, affordable, and sustainable housing options, including homeownership for residents of Detroit. So the Make It Home program represented an immediate intervention for the thousands of residents who are at risk of losing their homes to tax foreclosure, which we have heard and will heard has had devastating effects on families and communities throughout the city. So we really appreciate and applaud UCHC and Quicken Loans and the city and all the Make It Home partners for all this very important work. And I don't want to get in the way of the real stories we're going to hear from. So thank you very much.
Next, we'll be hearing from Dana Williams. She's a manager at DTE Foundation. DTE is both a funder of the program and also a supporter of the repair work. There's some things that only DTE can do when it comes to the utility bills, the appliances, the furnace, the boiler, hot water tanks, things like that. So they have helped us with the intangibles as well as the funding of this. And welcome Dana now.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you, Michelle. My name is Dana Williams, and I'm the manager of the DTE Energy Foundation. It truly is an honor to be here with really strong partners in the city who we work with on various initiatives, Quicken Loans Community Fund, certainly, the mayor and the city of Detroit, as well as the United Way. And United Way, in particular, is really central to our utility assistance programming, so thank you, Dr. Hudson, for that. At DTE, we recognize the importance of being a really responsible corporate citizen who cares about its communities and individual residents, because they're our customers. DTE and the DTE Energy Foundation are committed to investing in the communities where we live, we work, and we serve. We're right here with you. We do this by being hands-on in the community and partnering with key organizations like UCHC. The DTE team is working with partners citywide to prevent tax foreclosure through workshops and via the DTE Foundation's financial support of the Make It Home program. The tax foreclosure workshops have been staffed actually by DTE customer service volunteers and UCHC's team. They were trained to assist homeowners complete the paperwork that's required to receive the support. DTE is also working with various community partners to assist Make It Home participants register for home energy consultations so that when they get into those homes, they're energy efficient and their bills are manageable. And we're also working with them to receive discounted fixtures for their homes and rebates on some of those appliances as well that are critical to staying there. So again, we are proud to partner in this important work to help families on their journey to home ownership. Detroit is their home, and they should be able to own a house in it. Thank you.
Okay. So at UCHC, we meet thousands of people every year, and our staff is very dedicated, but sometimes we do get just completely overwhelmed. And yet sometimes there are clients that really stick in your mind and your heart. And for me, Monique Irvin is one of those people. Anyone would be lucky to have the Irvins as a family. And so, as a neighbor is what I meant to say. Anyone would be lucky to have them as a neighbor. And we're so grateful and proud to have supported them in their journey to home ownership. And I just want to welcome Monique now to share a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle, for that warm, loving speech. Like I said, y'all have to forgive me. This is very personal. I know I have to thank everybody on here, but first, I give greetings to everyone. Forgive me, y'all. I know we all have our own different belief. My belief is Jesus Christ. I cannot open my speech without giving him praise because he made this press conference on today. I am so grateful for the Quicken Loans Community Fund, the UCH, DTE, the Make It Your Home program, the City of Detroit, the Right Refusal program, for helping homeowners, first-time homeowners, to purchase their homes and preventing home goers into foreclosed auction. And I'd like to thank the Mayor Duggan. I cannot forget to give honor to my two beautiful children that are here and sitting here today. I give thanks to my loving husband, who is not present here for this current event because he's at work making the money to keep our home. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Words cannot express my love for my wonderful parents that's sitting here, my mom, my dad, and that I love so much. My parents just celebrated their 30th wedding anniversary. That is a blessing. We bump heads a lot, and I'm too much like my parents, whether they realize it or not, mom and dad. Mother and father, know that your prayers are not in vain. Just look at me now. I'm walking in my calling. I want to thank my godmother that connected me, Dr. Allen, my new sister, Sister Pam, that I just joked up with. Now to hear about my family and I's story, where it began. 6 years ago, we was about to lose our home from back taxes, where the landlord refused to pay property taxes. My husband and I started looking to see what was our option, what was best for us. We started looking at real estate agencies to see what was our credit, was it good enough? The mortgage company, we got approved, but how was we gonna come with $8,000 to close through the home buyer, the FHA loan program? I am not going to lie, it was very stressful to try to put everything together. We had a deadline coming up where we had to get out the property. Not on top of all the issues that we had, we need major repairs done to the property. I told my husband, let's pray. We prayed and asked the Lord to guide us and let every hidden secret thing come forward. The letter came in the mail the next day. I went down to the UCHC, check on the information. Our prayers were beginning to answer. I sat down with Ted and Michelle from the program, and they began to inform me that we might be able to save our home. They gave me instructions, what to do, fill out paperwork, and I followed everything that needs to be done to help my family. Now we are homeowners. In my closing, we went through the repair loan program, the grant repair program through the UCH. Our home needed major repair done. We was able to get new windows, a front screen door, the main entrance gate door, putting plumbing work done last month, DTE was able to help my family and us to get a new boiler. And now we on the waiting list to get a hot water tank. This has been our dream come true for my family, having our own home. We still need work done. Yes, we do. So I'm glad I'm connected with y'all to get help. Hey. The home was vacant for 15 years before my family moved on. Thank you very much.
I'm going to have my coworker Megan Bishop introduce our next speaker.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Megan Bishop, and I have the pleasure of introducing to you Roshana Kennedy. Roshana and I met over a year and a half ago, actually, at the show cause hearings, which is where down at Wayne County Treasurer's Office they send out notices to anyone facing foreclosure. Roshana is someone that stuck in my mind, and it's been a real privilege to see her go through this program very successfully. She's an amazing woman with a very strong commitment to her home, to her community, and to bettering herself and those around her. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Roshana and let us hear her story.
Hi, my name is Roshana Kennedy. Excuse me. First, I want to thank God for allowing me to be here. The day I went to the show cause hearing, I was facing foreclosure. I didn't even know I owned the house. I didn't even know that the house was still in my family. I thought the house was already gone. I'm nervous, y'all. Excuse me. The day that I met Megan was the day that changed my life forever. It's so much that she done for me that I never thought would happen. I couldn't lose my grandparents' home. They worked so hard. My granddaddy used to work for Chevrolet. My grandma was a homebody. There's 4 generations in this house, 4 generations. Nothing but love, family. I welcome anybody. But most of all, I want to thank Megan for dealing with me. I put her through a lot. She called me day and night. When I was going through something, I call her. I'm just thankful that I still got this home. And thank Quicken Loans Community Fund, UCH, Mayor Duggan, and everybody. Just thank you. Thank you.
So Roshana is going to be the first of this year's class of homeowners to receive her deed. So at this time, I'd like to present the deed to the home to Roshana Kennedy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, the work is not over, and it's so wonderful to just take a moment to celebrate all the work and another milestone in what is an endless commitment to homeownership and to the residents of the Detroit communities that we serve. As we speak, 21,000 occupied homes are potentially at risk of foreclosure across Wayne County. So those same cards that Monique and her family received, we just sent this postcard out letting people know. And so hopefully this event is a reminder that help is available and that there are things that you can do. We would not be doing this work if it was hopeless. It's certainly not. And together with a lot of work and a lot of partnerships like these ones, we look forward to continuing these efforts to make it home. And thank you so much.